Hey everybody, clearing. Okay, so today I'm going to do a little bit of a different reading. We're going to start with the 3D and the 5D connection for the counterparts, and then I'm going to do a reading that goes into what are the divine masculines ready to experience with the divine feminines. So I'm going to pull cards like in the regular kind of reading format. What are they thinking, feeling, all of that, but it's going to be from the perspective of what the divine masculine polarity is ready to accommodate, connect with from the divine feminine polarity. So let's get into the first part of the reading. Oh, I do want to say that I just released more early February sessions too. So if you booked later in February and you want to change to sooner, run over there and do that. If you've been waiting for spots to open up, go and grab a spot. I have a little bit in mid-February that's not released yet. I'm just waiting to know my schedule, so there will be a few more, but yeah. Okay, so let's see what we can. Ooh, a card just turned over. 3 of Cups and holding back. When that happens, we need to look at these messages. So if there are third-party situations, there's a message here. Be really present with any fear that you have that still has to do with lack, the confines of your own mind, competition templates regarding other people. Also, unconditional friendship, unconditional love. So if you know there is some kind of an opportunity to connect with your counterpart or further communication, or you know there's some meetup happening, or it's just hypothetical that there might be some occasion where third energy or unconditional friendship doesn't have to be connected to a third party. Another potential meetup. If you do have that on your radar, or you're just wondering what it would be like if you were to come in contact again, or what it would be like if you were to see the person by running into them or something like that, this is a message to say, really look at that brave edge. Really be present with that brave edge and ask yourself, what would it take for you to feel free of spirit, free in spirit, as a free spirit regarding that scenario? What would it require? What would your comfort level be? Are you at a place where you would be able to flow with that? Is there anything that you can do or you would require if that were to arise as an opportunity at this point? Is there anything, if you're in communication, is there anything that you are not balanced about within, that you're still feeling nervous about or anxious about? Is there a way to remove the attachment and conditionality and sink into unconditional friendship further? Is there any thought or angle of interpreting the scenario that you could see yourself relaxing a little bit more than you currently feel yourself being able to? So yeah, there is some movement coming in, and it does look like some mindset work. The 8 of Swords is talking about where we hold ourselves back, where our own limited thinking puts a condition or limitation on what we think is possible. And specifically with the 3 of Cups, it has to do with the free flow of energy, emotion, balance. The 3 of Cups is a good feeling card. This indicates we're holding back as a collective with regard to what we feel we are up for regarding our counterpart. So everybody is being asked to limber up and be a little bit more flexible, a little bit more easygoing, a little bit more aware of what it would require for each of us to be a bit more peaceful, a bit more brave, a bit more allowing, a bit more open-minded, a bit less in the expectations and attachments to a particular outcome. For instance, unconditional friendship. Can we take the seriousness, the religious stuff out? Meaning the fanatic, the obsession, the pedestal, the tunnel vision, and just be more free flow. Okay, I'm going to put those back in. What is the 3D connection for the DMs and DFs? DMs on the right, DFs on the left. What can we see in the 3D? Okay, DMs on the right, we're getting a lot of telepathic, energetic feeling into. So DMs are flexing their energetic muscles in the connection right now. Sight unseen, at a distance. There's some spaciousness, and the DMs are kind of using their hypothetical minds right now. But they're feeling into the energetic potentials. So they are tuning into you, Divine Feminines. Divine Feminines have this energy of the Ten of Pentacles, which is the self-made, the entrepreneur, the long-term, the material provision. In this card in particular, this person is concerned that these things might be taken from them. It's not really substance, it's false constructs, it's things of the material realm that don't really matter, but this person has created some kind of a sense of safety in the material realm, and it's threatened potentially to be stolen. So yeah, Divine Feminines, you're being asked to drop in and have more of an assessment of what really matters. Don't be so worried about trying to come up with things in the physical that will secure a reality that you're attached to. This is really letting go of that clinging to appearances, clinging to image, clinging to wealth, clinging to material realm shows of connection. In the connective space, we've got this Two of Orbs, which is the blockage card, but underneath of it, we have wish fulfillment and commitment. Both are getting real. I'm getting that the Divine Masculines are tuning into this third eye, enlightened understanding that they want further connection with the Divine Feminines. And for the Divine Feminines, there's this, so the Divine Masculines may have blocked, this is the card of blocking. They may have taken space, they may have felt tongue-tied, depending on where Divine Masculines and Divine Feminines are in your particular connection. There's some sort of a limitation, a silence here about these themes of what each really want and the commitment that is sensed here, the true connection that the counterparts are sharing. For the feminines, there seems to be a short-sightedness about the material realm in some way, that there is the appearance of these material things or the novelties wearing off. There's a deepening into what really matters. What I'm seeing here, Divine Feminines, at the end of the day, what really matters is that your Divine Masculine knows that you're the one for them and that they awaken to that. None of these other material realm indicators, you know, relationships just for show or good on paper or convenience or business agreements, karmic situations that have to do with finances and assets. This is all about the knowing of the connection on a soul level, the deeper connection. So divine feminines, don't buy into the hype of karmic situations that are all about this material realm stuff. Don't seek to have the plenty from your masculine if you think your masculine will offer you material wealth. There's a blockage regarding the image of relationships, the image of abundance, the image of ease and flow. Divine feminines are being asked to drop in deeper in the 3D, get past the illusions, sink into this heart space. Coming up in the future, we do have the indigo. This is the star-seeded mission coming in. This is the collaborative mission. So part of the purpose of these twin flame connections is right now the deepening discernment and spiritual giftings for the masculines, and the release of the physical realm concerns from the feminines. Not hanging on to what meets the eye as an indicator of the truth of situations. As both counterparts do this, there is a camaraderie, a deepening, a knowing that's growing past the surface level of these connections. It's like it's preparing for more 3D collaboration, but even at a distance, in silence, in solitude, minimal communication, whatever level you're at, there is still this knowledge of the next steps for purpose in the world. So the counterparts are still inspiring each other. There's this intimate process of personal evolution, but then this is also talking about the things that each pair is here to bring to the world. Giftings, talents, passions, insight, channeling, wild card, innovation coming in. And this is in the shared space. So there is a 3D movement here in the energy that the counterparts are going to be talking about, collaborating, having business crossover, having conversations that are innovative, meeting up to share developmental updates, to inspire. Whatever the karmic pathways of each twin couple, that is what calibrates every time there's a meetup, and then integration, and then another meetup, integration, another meetup, integration. Each twin pair has a specific karmic path that we are healing. And so the themes that affect each pair end up being part of that purpose into the world. Just by overcoming those limitations in a more mundane sense, we're on mission. Bringing those solutions to the greater community, that's purpose into the world. So what we do for self, we do for twin. What we do for self, we do for community. By way of up-leveling and solving these brain teasers about how to live as free spirits and not let limitations cap our experience of life, our freedom, our joy. What can we see in the energetic realms for the twins? Divine feminine, connection space, divine masculine, and going forward. So for divine feminine, we are getting neutrality, diplomacy, negotiation, and philosophy. So divine feminines in the 5D, you're being asked, invited energetically to let go of appearances of all things on this journey and really drop into neutrality about what you're witnessing, what you're experiencing, what you think you are challenged by. Really look at it objectively. Energy, positive, negative, neutral. Come into neutrality. It's just energy balancing in the universe. It's just energy evolving. It's just energy swinging from one pendulum to the other and finding the middle. It's nothing to be concerned about, and this too shall pass. So whatever is concerning you, watch for other aspects that help the balance coming in yourself, in your twin. You can observe anybody's growth path and see that they go in one way and the other, and then they come to a diplomatic conclusion in their own right when they have stopped experimenting in those directions. You will see that in your own path. You can take solace in seeing your divine counterpart navigating life that way. The process does bring us into neutrality because we've been there, done that, seen how it all works out, and we no longer need to explore that particular angle of life. Wisdom, maturity, experience. So seek the neutral. For every action, there is an equal and opposite reaction. Look at those dualities. Start to feel into what the neutralizing energy would be. You can hypothetically sort through a lot of different potential paradigms and outcomes if you use neutrality to look at the things. Just explore it through the lens of it's just energy balancing, and help it balance by seeing what that middle way would be. In the connection energy, we get psychic vision, hidden meanings, and dream reading. So in this time of possible blockage, distance, no contact, no communication, reduced communication, this is a chance for everybody to tune in and look at the deeper meaning. Spoiler alert, we do have wishing for this connection and the secret knowledge of this connection, the truth of this connection revealed, the honoring of this connection. So that is under the surface of no matter what is going on in the 3D, there is a deeper knowledge available, and it's there for each to tap into. This is part of the treasure hunt, and this is part of how this journey trains us to spot love, to cultivate the attitude of spotting love, of appreciating the good things, of seeing the deeper meaning. This is a motion where we are being asked to get creative, to see that. Not twist things to benefit us or manipulate what is there into a story we want to tell. No, this is literally seeing the love in things for where it's at. That doesn't mean fabricating, but that does mean seeing angles that set us free, truths that set us free. You know it when you come to one of those. Peace comes in. Aha moment comes in. Laughter even. It can be such a refreshing thing when we see things from an angle that does not make one person right or wrong, that does not take something personally, that's not blame or ridicule or shame or guilt, any of that stuff. When we see energy for what it is, it takes that pettiness out of it. What if everyone is always doing the best with what they have to work with? And for divine masculines, spiritual giftings, telepathic, energy reading, temple of elevated senses, impeccability, advancement, and loftiness, 66. So that is a number of seeing through the material realm concerns, dropping into the energetics. Divine masculines are upgrading. They are becoming much more proficient at being able to tune into the essence, what really matters, the impeccable angle. So you go, Divine Masculines. This is a necessary training so that you can validate these connections and see that they are truly extraordinary and like no other. Even when you are in an energetic, what is that called? A cold zone? I don't know if that's a term. A blackout zone. You can still utilize your metaphysical, your meta, multidimensional guidance system to discern things. And then going into the future, we have subconscious awareness and Akashic information. I just heard the twins are pulling on all the lifetimes that they've been incarnated, all of the different Akashic information, the knowing field. As we overcome karma, we unlock potentials that we didn't have from a limited, wounded, traumatized PTSD angle. When we come into healing, we all of a sudden see the potentiality that spans space and time. And so as we do this deep, deep healing on this journey of mastery, we do engage with revolutionary connectedness, genius, innovation. So we're not getting it just of our own power. When we tune into the Akashic, the subconscious, we're getting it from the fabric of existence itself and behind that veil. So yeah, divine counterparts, there is a lot of genius coming in. All right, so let's get into the reading that I was talking about. So what are the divine masculines ready to engage with, recognize, be conscious of from the angle of the feminine, from the polarity of the divine feminine? What are the divine masculines ready to be conscious of regarding the connection, regarding their feminine in particular, personally? What are they ready to experience on the heart space? What are they ready to experience regarding their feminine, specifically in the heart space? What are they wishing for and ready to access in the connection, in their own right and in the connection? What are the divine masculines inviting into their actions in their own life at this time consciously, and what are they consciously doing to engage with the feminine energetically or in the physical? What is the biggest challenge? What is the spirit guided solution for that challenge? And where are things going in the near future? From the angle of the feminine, what do the masculines consciously, what are they ready to understand about the connection itself? Ten of Pentacles, how this can work in the physical. So this is the same card Divine Feminines just got in the 3D. From this angle, it was a bit stressful. In this card, this is the abundance that can come in. So Divine Feminines, you're being asked to drop the specialness of the allure of opulence, abundance, excess, things that you don't appreciate, that you've just been told would be, you know, living the dream, whatever it is. It's just an urge to make sure that it's the essence, the emotion, the energy that you're tuning into and not the things. So there's just a slight flavor of the things that the feminine need to let go of. But here, divine masculines are coming into the recognition of this very real abundance in the physical. So abundance follows the generation of love. In this new energy, the more authenticity, the more genuine love we emit, align with, the more the physical takes on a new life, aliveness. Divine masculines are ready to see what this kind of abundance can feel like, can look like, but it can't be for show. Divine masculines want to start combining the abundance of the physical potentials with the sincerity of these connections, specifically with the divine feminine's flair, but also high priestess intuitive abilities. And hold on tight. So divine masculines are ready to experience the connection loosely. So I'm not getting that this is necessarily romantic, although the Ten of Pentacles does include legacy and blended families and children and generational wealth. They want to do it in a way that it's not binding, not going to suck the life out of the counterparts, that it's going to be light, that it's going to be energizing. So this may not be romantic to begin with. This may be brainstorming. This may be just casually talking or considering options. But if you're not in communication, it could also just be the masculines thinking about and daydreaming about what could be possible without holding back out of fear, just playing the what if game. What do the masculines release in response to this energy? Okay, Two of Cups, Lord of Love in the reverse. They release the need to define this relationship, is what I just heard. So here's that love is on the table, but it's not front row and center as the reason the masculines are wanting to explore the material realm potentials regarding the energy of the feminine, regarding of where the feminines are currently at. That's why divine feminines, you're being asked to be impeccable, that it's not about the material things, the material gain, that it's literally about wishing for the essence, the connection with your masculine soul. Because your divine masculine wants only the real, eternal connection. This is a very masterful angle the masculines are coming in on, and they want to start seeing life in a way they haven't attempted to envision with the feminines yet. They want to see if they can envision something that no one's thought of yet. And so it can't be through this lens of traditional love relationships. It's got to be, it's an abstract energy from the masculines. They want to design something that would work for all involved, that is a new way of doing relationship. This is the wild card energy coming in. So we are seeing innovation. We're seeing unconventional combinations of shared time, resources, creative giftings. They're really going into a open design phase that recognizes the affinity that the twins share, but doesn't focus on it. It's more this third energy that the twins generate. So divine masculines do want to connect more with the energy of the feminine, but not under the binding of relationship and then get sidetracked by the romantic aspects. They're really wanting to focus on potentials and see if there can be a foundation laid first, is what I just heard. What are the masculines ready for consciously regarding their feminine? Ten of Swords and Wish on a Star. So they do want to get to a truth. They do want to see if the connections are at a place where the triggers, the abandonment wounds, the things that haven't worked out, the disagreements, discrepancies, they want to get to a baseline where we can be on the same page, where there's a shared direction, where they can make sense of what these connections are for. There's a larger than life. Here's the Star card. Destiny in the reverse. Like they want to clear up any heaviness. They don't want to have cumbersome energy. They know in order to really access the destiny, there has to be things cleared. But the feminine has been so conditioned to defer to the masculine, the patriarchal Godhead, that whole thing, that the masculines have had a bad rap, have been blamed. The feminines have been blamed too. There's been a lot of disintegration. But the masculines don't want to have that at odds energy with the feminine. They don't want to have those projections between the counterparts. They want to get onto this destined path, but they know that there is misconception. There are things that would need to be cleared up. There are still ways of looking at what's happened in the connections that doesn't blame or accuse or condemn each other. The masculines really are still working on how do we clear the air without making a kerfuffle and get back on track. They're ready to find those solutions, but they're not feeling like they can do it on their own, and it's not up to them. They're not sure where the feminine is at. I think that's where they're tuning into the feminines and why the feminines are being cautioned to drop in deeper than what meets the eye, because there are these energetic things. And then we get the Ace of Swords, which this Ten of Swords reduces to the Ace of Swords. It's in the reverse, so the truths haven't been seen yet. But the divine masculines are open to seeing the truths. They're working on it. They're trying to be open-minded. They are wanting to find the solutions to these things that detract from this potential in the dynamics. Lord of the Root of the Powers of Air. That is thought. This is how do we get to a baseline so we can have progress with our thoughts instead of spinning the wheels with hurt feelings and triggers and wounding. How do we stay on course, stay on track? They want to access this destined potential that they sense, that they know the feminine sense. But it's a bit elusive. I suddenly just heard it's the third energy, it's the divine, it's consciously agreeing to look at these connections for that third energy and not through the lens of the love relationship, but to recognize that there is a pull on a deeper level, that relationship in general can offer something other than what we've been told it's there for. You know, I want to say not simply procreating or that sort of a thing, not that it's simple to procreate. That's one of the most sacred, amazing things on the planet. But that is more of a biological aspect. We're talking about the spiritual innovation, the progress, the gift to humanity that these combinations offer. So that's the focus. So everybody watching this, really seek to take yourself up and out of what these connections offer sexually and, you know, romantically and all of that, which is so important. These connections are so sacred, and they do offer through the roof ecstatic joy together and pleasure. But that is a really powerful indicator of true connection, and the purpose of true connection is to bring this love into the world that solves problems and helps humanity and contributes. So what can we see for what the masculines are ready for on the heart space to recognize about these connections? The sun, it is law. Okay. They're ready to really affirm that these connections have set a foundation of enlightenment, of spiritual progress, and that the divine feminine, their divine feminine, is this divine counterpart, is this divinely guided, energetic counterpart that is just undeniable. So they're ready to bring more light, more consciousness to these unlikely pairings. What is the masculine polarity ready to address on the heart space about their feminine? That they know the love is here, but they admittedly feel stuck in how to progress it. Temperance, daughter of the reconcilers. In the reverse, there's a need for more healing, more balance, so that we're not dealing with the push-pull of runner-chaser, unrequited love. We're not, I want to say, cheapening it into just a mere romantic relationship. The goal of these connections is not romantic harmony. That's going to be a benefit when we funnel, when we channel the love that's in these connections in the direction that we're meant to into the world. What are the wishes of the masculines regarding these connections? The Tower. I'm trying to let go of the past and trust the best is yet to come. So yeah, they are really clearing the slate. They hope to meet you, divine feminine, in a blank slate, 0 point present moment that is not tainted by the past. They want enough of the past to be forgotten so they can meet you anew. And Knight of Wands, the Lord of Flame and Lightning. So this is the passion, this is the ghosting, the hot and cold. In the inverse, they want to move past that phase of runner chaser, hot and cold breadcrumbs. They want that to change forever. That's what they're wishing in these connections. They're wishing for things to stabilize. I'm going to get an energetic card. How do the divine counterparts focus on stabilizing this aspect? Ecstasy, rapture, flux, and amplification. Heart wave resonator, dropping into the heart, letting all the things that aren't love go, the misconceptions, all of it, letting it, leaving it in the past, not getting ahead of self, meeting in presence, not letting the emotions manufacture something that's not warranted, but just staying present with each other, not having ulterior motive for commitment, not pouncing energetically and calling people out on things that are not preferences, but just seeing our dear counterparts, our dear friends, where they're at earnestly. If you have this connection with someone, there is no rush, there is no hurry, there is no panic. There is always an invitation for gratitude. So yeah, the runner-chaser energy drops away when we don't have an agenda. That third energy that we saw in the beginning, that flipped out right at the start, dropping the fear around how to hang on to the connection when it feels insecure, and giving ourselves this reality check that we only have this moment and that we want to connect just for connection's sake in this moment. It's all we have. The past is an illusion. The future has not happened. Now is all we have. What can we see for what the masculines are ready to do action-wise? Queen of Pentacles, and it is what it is in the reverse. So they're ready to consider more physicality in the connections. They're not wanting to stay where things are. They do want to move forward, but they don't necessarily want to, in all cases, very few, propose or something like that. Like there's an non-traditional desire to have you in their life, Divine Feminines, but not to follow a typical course of action or route here. Talking to you, communicating is not to produce a romantic relationship and then happily ever after. They're feeling drawn to something extraordinary here. They don't want to diminish that by connecting with you again and having it get off course into a relationship conundrum. The Star card, the destined path. They know there's something bigger here. It's like a think tank brainstorming energy. They know that you have intuition. They know that they have innovation. You are one of the few people that they know there is a potential to combine with thoughts that will be revolutionary or unique, and that will benefit both and their own ability to bring through new ideas. So they want to be communicating with you, but they're moving through phases in their lives where they're trying to find a new way. You keep coming to mind, but they don't want to get sidetracked by a romantic relationship right now. Even though there is so much attraction and possibly intimacy, they don't want to make it about that though. They want to change their lives for the better. They want nothing but that for you, but they don't want a relationship to throw you both off track to what is ultimately going to be possible when everybody meets their full potential. What can we see for the masculine's biggest challenge regarding meeting up with the energy of the feminine? The wheel. They don't feel like it's divine timing yet. There's one layer of this at a time, one step at a time. It's not the be-all end-all, but they do want to start picking away at the potentials here. But they don't feel that it's the be-all end-all thing. Fortitude, strength, humility in the reverse like this. The challenge is dropping ego and fear, uncertainty, and just being present enough for baby steps so that they're not going to be hoodwinked and brought in against their will to something binding that they're not feeling is time yet. When it's time, it won't be binding, but if it isn't in divine timing, it does feel contrived. They don't want that. That's the challenge. They're feeling a pull, divine feminines, but they don't want to be bound. What is the solution to this? 10 of Wands, cycles within cycles. They do feel this fiery pull. They do feel like it's inevitable that you're being pulled together. Cycles within cycles show that there have been other times when you've been at this place in the connection and it's revolved into the opposite of wherever you find yourself in the connection right now. They know that there's a pattern between the two, and the 10 of Wands is the end of a pattern where it gives way to purpose. The Ace of Wands, where the innovation comes in. So they are feeling that your example or communication with you or agreement, collaboration would give way to something more. But again, they don't want anything binding. The 10 of Wands can be one of those realizations where, wow, we've gotten into duty, we've gotten in over our heads, and we're catching fire and there's nowhere to go. She doesn't even notice anymore. She's so used to the burden. 5 of Swords in the reverse. This is the free will, so it's all in how you look at it. So divine masculines are realizing there's a wealth of wisdom, information that has become available to the counterparts because of these cycles within cycles. And they are now seeing that they can mine that for the wisdom it is. They can mine that for the ideas, the information to innovate, to problem solve, to find a niche, to help humanity. They see this vast, masterful skill set with both counterparts that allows them to see that there is more to this connection. They're ready to connect with you, divine feminine, on that level, if it's possible, if it doesn't snowball off track anymore. They are open to these things. Where's the connection going? Ooh, King of Wands. There are too many ideas in the mix in the reverse. So this King of Wands, shaman, leader, chieftain energy is eliminating the extra energies. That can be thoughts, that can be fears about approaching, fears that this will run off the tracks if there is an approach. This is a consistent, embodied, composed energy that is a temple energy. It is a housing of the spiritual mastery. This is the spiritual aspect of the human, the masculine polarity. And so this is coming to the forefront, and this is the 5 of Wands card. The King of Wands has that scepter that has won the karmic battle, has overcome the karma. So in the process of letting go of karmic influences, the masculines are taking their leadership role and using their karma as they go through the final rite of passage to overcome their karma, release karmic partners, people, family dynamics, belief systems, unhealthy jobs and living situations, religious views that are not made of love, philosophies, paradigms. They're letting go of all of that. So divine masculines are truly shedding those things, and they are coming into their own, and they are willing to dabble, touch base, feel into what can be possible. When they let those things go, they can show up in this consistent energy and test the waters with the more meaningful, the soul base, the soul level interactions with divine feminine. 5 of Wands in the reverse. This one says Lord of Strife in the reverse. Same card. So divine feminines, you are also being asked to prepare by letting go of all the fluff, all of the fear-based paradigms, all of the things clouding your mind and distracting you, selling yourself short, anything that you're buying into that diminishes the value on a spiritual level that these connections have to offer. If you truly recognize the spiritual value of these connections, you would not be striving for the romantic connection first and foremost. You would be seeing the blessing in how it transforms your life, your divine counterparts' lives, how it's authentic and supportive from a soul level, and how that is exuded, shared, the light that's shone out into the world from that motion. So yeah, this is really getting into the sacred. What can we see for the counterparts? What is a card in closing that we can be left with here? So wow, we're getting anxiety and love. Real love does not have an agenda. Real love is the most magnetic, powerful energy in the universe, and it is the remedy for all of this. But it's not what we have been accustomed to thinking it is from a limited 3D perspective. These journeys are showing us that love is life, love is consciousness, love is healing, love is existence, love is the journey. Many blessings, everyone. Bye for now.